I think that this, frankly, might be the single biggest issue that drives a wedge between the president and many of his supporters.
The controversies surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein case have pushed President Donald Trump into the center of a political storm, stirring doubt within the MAGA movement about their loyalty to and trust in him.
Outline everything that you've put out there, get as much as you can out there. If you can't get things out there on this Epstein situation, explain why this.
Secrets surrounding the relationship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, the billionaire accused of involvement in illegal activities related to minors, have sparked a wave of criticism within the Make America Great Again movement itself. In recent days, President Trump has been trying to control a growing internal crisis related to allegations of concealing classified documents about Epstein. Some information about the relationship and activities related to Epstein is believed to have been leaked or kept secret, causing controversy, as reported by The Guardian and AP News. At the same time, according to analyses and reports from Politico, several key figures within the MAGA movement and right-wing organizations are reportedly considering resigning or stepping down due to internal political pressure. This dissatisfaction and pressure are raising concerns about an increasingly deepening division within the ranks of those who were once absolutely loyal to Trump. Some experts argue that Trump is caught between the desire to keep secrets and pressure from right-wing figures, whom he himself brought into the MAGA movement, who believe in conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein.
I think that this, frankly, might be the single biggest issue that drives a wedge between the president and many of his supporters. They've been loyal to him for a number of different things, including even dropping bombs in Iran, despite pledging not to involve us in any foreign wars. But this is a little bit different. I think because the Epstein saga came about independent of Donald Trump. But then he encouraged it and indeed brought many of these Epstein conspiracy theorists into his administration. And many of those people who follow those conspiracy theorists hold on to that view themselves. And so he's really put himself in a tough spot where he has to deliver the goods for his supporters or alternatively convince his supporters that this wasn't a story at all.
I can't believe you're asking a question on that.
Before the 2024 election, Trump asserted he would not hesitate to release documents related to Epstein's case if he returned to the White House. The Republican politician is one of many prominent figures who were once friends with Epstein, but he denies ever visiting the billionaire's home in the Virgin Islands, where criminal activities took place. At the same time, Trump has repeatedly claimed he cut ties with Epstein long ago.
And my response was,
and I did have a falling out a long time ago. The reason doesn't make any difference, frankly, but I haven't spoken to him in probably 15 years or more. I wasn't a big fan of Jeffrey Epstein, that I can tell you.
I think he has some underlying reason for not releasing the information. And it could be, related to the thing that Musk leaked out about a month ago. So what's his best play? His best play is to say to his constituency, I'm going to release it. But he won't. His best play as a leader to keep the group together is to say, I will release it, but what gets released won't be what you want. It'll be a watered down version. It'll be pages, didacted of all the important information. And the group will turn around and say, well, that's not what we want. It's not what we promised. And that's when he'll say, this is all I can do because that's all the courts will allow me to do. And he's going to, again, blame it on something else that people in his MAGA movement also dislike, and that is the court system.
On July 17, 2025, on the social media platform Truth Social, President Donald Trump declared that due to the abundance of misinformation related to Jeffrey Epstein, he had requested Attorney General Pam Bondi to release all grand jury testimony subject to court approval. Trump emphasized that the hoax orchestrated by the Democrats must end immediately. On the same day, Pam Bondi also announced on the X platform that following President Trump's directive, She and her associates were ready to file a motion with the court the next day to request the declassification of related records. Ultimately, she faced criticism from the MAGA camp when she did not release the Epstein Files as promised, despite the White House defending her. Earlier, on June 5, 2025, Elon Musk drew attention when he posted on X that it was time to reveal the real bomb, while claiming that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein Files, which he said was the main reason these documents had not been released. Billionaire Elon Musk is believed to be leveraging the Epstein case for political bargaining with Trump. Meanwhile, other politicians are hesitant, unsure whether to support the public's demand for document disclosure or to stand with Trump. However, according to strategists, as long as the administration can provide a clear reason, they can still maintain the loyalty of their supporters.
I do think it's also possible that we wind up with somebody, be it Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, somebody who is kind of associated with the Justice Department, wind up having to resign, and in a sense like saying that, okay, like that's the scapegoat here on this. Let's move on and talk about deportations or something else like that he feels more comfortable on. I think Musk largely wants attention. I think Musk largely wants to be included, and I think he resents being sidelined. And this is a way for him to kind of bully his way in.
So I think for Musk, he's already got his stuff in play. And that is he's going to try to have a small third party built, which he could use to scare Republicans, because the third party is not going to win a lot of seats, but it could draw enough votes away from Republicans that they need to keep control of Congress. And he's going to work on making that happen. I don't think he wants to go too far, because in his particular case, Trump could turn around and really cancel those contracts. Or maybe Trump has already said to him, hey, look, I got enough things going on with everybody else and all this crazy stuff that's happening within the MAGA movement. I don't need you to help them out. And this is what I'll offer you if you keep quiet on this. More tax credits, an extension of them, maybe better trade agreements, maybe blocking the Chinese for a longer period of time selling their cars in the United States. So all of this is probably what is the wrangling going on in the background, because Musk does have power because of his money. And he's got a decent brand recognition and credibility among the MAGA movement. So I think Trump has to watch out for him. But the other player here that probably is working with Musk is Rupert Murdoch. They come from similar parts of the world. They've known each other for many years. And I think a big surprise for me, at least, that hasn't been talked about much is the fact that that article never would have got published in the Wall Street Journal unless Rupert Murdoch said, I okay it. So here you have Rupert Murdoch also beginning to jockey for position to remind Trump that, you know, now that the boogeyman has been annihilated, there's things that I want just for me, and you have to start to think about how I'm going to get that.
On the Truth Social platform on July 17, 2025, President Donald Trump spoke out against the Wall Street Journal for publishing a letter he called fake, allegedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein. He asserted that he did not write the letter and did not orchestrate anything. He stated that he had warned Rupert Murdoch that it was a hoax and should not be published, but Murdoch ignored him. Trump declared he would take both the media mogul and the newspaper to court. The Wall Street Journal had previously reported that in a collection of letters sent to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday in 2003, there was a letter signed by Donald Trump. The letter contained a few typed lines, framed by a drawing of a suggestive woman, seemingly hand-drawn with a bold marker.
But even at different times, Speaker Johnson or J.D. Vance have called for the release of all the documents, and then at other times said, no, the president is right, everything is out there. There's nothing more to see here. And so it seems as though the sort of these people who are willing to really stick their neck out are relatively few. And the rest of them seem to be putting their finger in the wind to decide what direction their constituents are going. Are the constituents more concerned about Epstein? Or are the constituents more concerned about protecting President Trump?
My advice to the White House would be outline everything that you've put out there, get as much as you can out there. If you can't get things out there on this Epstein situation, explain why that's the case. Because really, it's not just about government transparency and equal justice, but it's also clarity that the mega base wants right now. They just want clarity on where things are. As long as the administration provides that, they'll maintain the support of the mega base. Again, there's not going to be a great divorce here. And I also don't think there's going to be any staff departures here either.
Both Trump and Epstein were notorious real estate tycoons. According to recorded information, Epstein, not only the founder of the asset management firm Financial Trust, also owned 6 properties, including a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Additionally, Epstein possessed 2 private jets and 15 cars registered in various states. Epstein was no stranger to powerful and famous individuals. The billionaire Epstein's mansion on Little St. James Island in the Caribbean, spanning over 7,000 square meters, is located approximately 1.6 kilometers southeast of St. Thomas and was purchased by the billionaire over 20 years ago. This private island with its large mansion is just a fraction of the vast wealth of the American billionaire, along with luxurious villas in Manhattan, New York, and Palm Beach, Florida. The island resembles an impenetrable floating fortress. When the top-secret files remain classified and promises are delayed, the MAGA movement faces a choice: to continue trusting or to turn away. And it is President Trump himself who faces doubt from his own supporters.